In our first story, President Akufo-Addo says the appointment of Special Prosecutor Martin Amido should end criticisms of witch hunting when high-profile personalities and politicians are investigated and prosecuted for engaging in acts of corruption. He explains the Special Prosecutor is a permanent official who is independent of the executive and who will hold all officials, past and present, accountable for their stewardship. It was unequivocal that regardless of one's status in society, when they get into problems of wrongdoing, they should face the consequences.
Strengthening the institutions and taking very much to heart the principle that equality before the law means exactly that, equality before the law. President, Prime Minister, Minister, parliamentary, businessman, policeman, we're all citizens first before we're anything. And that therefore when we get into problems of wrongdoing, we should face the consequences. We have a particular problem in Ghana. That is that every time a prosecution is mounted against a high-ranking official, you hear the cry, witch hunting. And it has become a way of protection for senior political figures. So we've now had to devise a particular response and mechanism. We've established an Office of Special Prosecutor that is a permanent official who is independent of the executive, who has the remit to hold all officials, past and present, accountable for their stewardship. And the person who's the first occupant of that office is a leading figure of the opposition. Was a former Attorney General in the government of President Atta Mills, a leader who was my opponent in previous contests for political power. And that is therefore, and this is a person who has an extremely high reputation for his stance on corruption and as a figure of integrity. And we're taking it that if he then puts you in his gaze for an act of wrongdoing, that charge of witch hunting will no longer be available. And we believe that that is a very important step that we're having to take to make sure that the principle of equality before the law in Ghana is truly made meaningful. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, President. May I now invite President.
We'll now take you to the Ashanti region, where the Minister of Education has revealed that enrollment onto the free senior high school program for the 2018-2019 academic year will be increased by some 30%. Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh says this move is to make education accessible to more people, despite challenges faced in the first year of implementation. Well, Prince Appiah has more.
Hundreds of residents in the Mensah South constituency turn up for the health walk organized by the Member of Parliament, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. It forms part of activities ahead of the new Patriotic Party's National Delegates Congress scheduled for July 7. The exercise began from the Abbess Park through the Mensah Palace and back to the Abbess Park. Participants were screened by health personnel after the exercise. Dr. Opoku-Prempeh used the opportunity to emphasize the need for regular health checkups in the wake of the death of the Vice President, Parkwesi Mr. Arthur, who he eulogized.
Doing exactly what we are doing, he had gone to the gym. Checking your health is bigger than going to the gym or going to the health walk. That is why after the walk, you would see us checking our health. But we wish that God keeps his soul. He served Ghana, and we should remember him for that. We don't wish it on anybody. The Holy Ghost comforts his family as the nation prepares for his burial. We will not participate.
Dr. Opoku-Prempeh also revealed the 2018 academic year will increase student admission by 30% under the free senior high school program.
10% over last year. The number of kids we expect to place is going to be probably 30% than last year. So Ghanaians have voted positively for the free SHS, and the government should work to ensure that the faith in the free SHS is not with it.
Meanwhile, NAPO, as it is affectionately called, has confidence that the National Delegate Congress will be successful and the victors in the upcoming elections will deliver.
To let people know that we still exist. We're preparing ourselves for the exercise ahead of us, and God being our guide and our guide. The party will still continue to be strong. No matter the winds that are blowing, the party is firmly in control over the government. All the contestants are new patriotic party people. So everyone that will win will do the work well.
We are still Prince Apia reporting.
Also remaining in the Ashanti region, and demolition of structures in waterways in the Kumasi Metropolis entered day 2 on Monday. The exercise follows hours of rainfall that caused flooding in several parts of the metropolis. Well, the National Disaster Management Organization commends the demolition exercise at Angolaga Junction and its environs, which were the hardest hit by the floods. Well, Lava Firm's Erastus Asaridonko has been following the exercise and brings us this report.
Now, 4 days ago, this place was submerged with water. This is Angolaga Junction. Now, the city mayor has been talking about demolition of structures, obstructing free flow of water into the main drain to my right here. And that is why city authorities have begun a major demolition exercise of structures sited very close to the drain and structures that are obstructing free flow of water. So this morning, the excavator has been here as well. It started yesterday and is continuing right into today. Now, the Regional NADMO Director, Honorable Kwabena Century, has been talking about the need or the reason why they are embarking on this particular exercise. We are seeing other structures on the Bulkroom Road, even at Angolaga Junction here. They are talking about a gas filling station whose walls is blocking a lot of flow of water. Do we have the willpower to demolish these structures now?
No, there's a structures and there's a law. So I've written to EPA and MPA, other bodies, for us to give us the necessary information that if they have the building permit and the other required documents. So based upon that, if they are having their permit renewed, then we write to the EPA as of next year, or probably the next 6 months. They shouldn't renew their permit because it poses dangerous to the public.
But we are talking about the ones that are sitting directly in waterways, preventing the free flow of water. Those are the ones we are talking about. Are they going to stand till next year?
I'm sure not. And because, we have expertise. We have expertise to deal with that. One of their requirements is that they have to build the gas on waterways. Not even on the waterways, just wetlands. In case there's a fire, then they might have access to water or whatever it is. So we have to consult the experts, and the necessary information will be required from them. Then we know.
Some of these people have been affected by the demolition exercise today. What would you say about this exercise today?
I have nothing to say. I leave everything to God. I don't know if they gave any notice because I traveled. This demolition will not deal with the flood. The problem is with the gutters here. They are too small to contain the flood waters.
Well, at the end of it all, many in Kumasi believe this gas filling station is the source of all the flooding around this area. And they say that the flood waters coming in from up here should have used a drain that this gas filling station is sitting directly on. But do the authorities have the willpower to consider even demolishing this structure? Only time will tell. Reporting for JoyNews, Erastus Asaridonko, Kumasi.
Well, let's do some security issues. And the Deputy Upper West Regional Minister, Amidu Chinya Isahaku, has disclosed that out of a total of some 107 police personnel transferred to the Upper West region at the start of this year, only 9 have turned up so far. Amidu Chinya Isahaku said the inadequate number of police personnel in the region is a reason for the upsurge in crime. He says a petition has already been sent to the Interior Minister and the Inspector General of the Ghana Police Service. Rafiq Salam has more from the annual get-together of the police in the region.
The Wasa occasion is used by the personnel to take stock of the past year and review strategies to improve performance the next year. Upper West Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Boapia Kujo Ochore, commended personnel for working to reduce the crime rate, especially armed robbery in the region. He admonished them not to slide back in their performance and do anything untoward that is against the conduct and ethics of the service.
Evidence is there for everybody to see, especially on Wa Kumasi Road, Wa Nadoli Lola Road, Wa Tumu roads and other highways and feeder roads where robbery were frequent. The efforts of personnel were given recognition nationwide by the police administration, and those who went extra mile in the performance of their duties were given special promotion, and I believe this will not be a one-day action.
Before the start of the year, there were concerns about the decreasing number of police personnel in the region. A total of 583 police personnel were transferred out of the region without replacement, bringing the number of police personnel in the region from 1,500 to about 900. President Akufo-Addo, in his maiden official working visit to the Upper West region last year, tasked the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, to ensure that the deficit was reduced. Hundreds of police personnel were therefore transferred to the region. Deputy Upper West Regional Minister Amidu Chinya Isahaku, representing the Upper West Regional Minister, however, stated that out of the 107 personnel transferred to the region at the start of the year, only 9 have so far turned up. He also revealed his outfit has petitioned the Interior Minister and the Inspector General of the Ghana Police Service on the matter, and he hopes help will come soon. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
And that's it for the latest news update. We have more news update. We'll be reviewing the newspapers. Mamavi is ready. Kojo Yankson is also ready. We'll be looking at the stories, front, back pages of the newspapers. We'll look at myjoyonline.com as well. Good morning to you, Mamavi. How have you been?
Good morning.
How was your weekend and holiday?
I've been okay. I enjoyed.
I didn't see you around here yesterday.
For the first time, a holiday in a very long while.
Hey.
It was worth it. I really enjoyed it. And the football was great.
Yeah, the football was great.
Yeah.
I think he added a lot of spice to the day, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the football was great. The National Science and Maths quiz. I was just spoiled for choice. Like, I was just chilling, you know?
It doesn't happen to you often that for your viewing pleasure, you tend to be spoiled for choice. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
You're very critical of what you watch.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
I know you somewhat.
I think that, everybody who enjoyed the holiday yesterday would also see that they enjoyed our coverage of the National Science Maths quiz.
I did. I was following also on social media, and I was watching live as well on YouTube. It was awesome. Yeah. And then also the football came in, and Brazil, they did the job professionally. They were defending in block, playing when they had to play tactically, tiki-taka when it was important. And But
I think the game that I loved
was the Belgium match.
Was the Belgium
awesome.
game.
I watched the last minute as well.
Japan was almost. I think they fought really hard.
I think the problem with Japan was their height. They couldn't reach the ball very often.
Hey, Roland. Okay, well, we'll bring you the newspapers. We'll see how the news is being reported. But there's also this amazing story. I mean, it's incredible. 12 teenagers in
Thailand.
Thailand with their coach.
We're told they're footballers,
finally, who have finally been seen. They haven't been absolutely rescued because they're still in this cage. That's it right there. And
are they getting the supplies that were intended for them?
So the government says it's going to supply 4 months of food stuff to them, and they're also going to give them some diving lessons. We'll see how they're finally rescued, but their families absolutely
this is what we want. Every life is important. Even one is important.
Yeah, but this is bringing out a lot of questions. So for us in Ghana, I think one of the things that some of us have been asking, how far would our government go in rescuing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teenagers? The same effort that was put into this, if you've been following the story, massive, massive, massive efforts. The divers who finally, saw these kids, they're UK divers, by the way.
Yeah. I know. Very experienced.
All right.
Do we have divers in Ghana? We have some in Cape Coast.
We will be back with a lot more. We'll be back with a lot more. We've got the newspapers. We'll share more of that story that we brought you just a little while ago. A lot more when we sit down and we review the newspapers.
I'll be right back.